Welcome back, everyone. A huge night going on right now in the world of crypto. We'll talk about kind of what's happening, and this is a big one, okay? This is a monumental day kind of for what's been going on in the Middle East. We have some breaking news headlines where the Israel-Iran conflict has entered a ceasefire, or at least for the next 6 to 12 hours, we're going to attempt that. All right, so as we get going here, as we wait for this live to kind of everybody to trickle in, appreciate you all taking some time out of your evenings and came here for the news as it relates to crypto. That's what we're here for. I'm going to share with you guys kind of what we have going on, and let's get into it, okay? The best thing to do here before we get going, guys, hit that like button. Let's get YouTube know that we are live, and we will get this conversation going. Also, feel free to drop a comment. Who's all tuning in? If you guys are watching over on X, appreciate you all. Make sure you hit that like button as well, and let's get this going. All right. So I will pull up kind of what the market's doing, and we are reacting in a very strong way. Okay. I'm going to share with you kind of the crypto bubbles right now as we look at it, and as it stands for the top 100. Okay. This is a great sight to see, and I pretty much told you guys it's not financial advice, but I did talk about it a lot on my content this week. When we did get a ceasefire, and I think Iran would have been kind of silly if they took this to the next level. This is kind of where you could have got all of your favorite cryptos on discount. And as you see right now, across the board, guys, it's 10% up pretty much in the top 100. And that's kind of what we're looking at. So appreciate you all. Let's get it going. Who do we have in the chat? Drop a comment. Let me know where you guys are all coming in from. 50 people live in the chat, and no one is saying hello. That's okay. We'll wait. I'll try to pull it up here, show you guys kind of what I'm looking at. But yeah, it is a nice little resurgency. We'll talk about some of the things that we're seeing here. We're looking at Bitcoin right now. We see 105,000. So a lot of people were kind of getting ready to start shorting Bitcoin. Not so much, right? We are seeing a nice 4.5% move. Crypto was just not supposed to be trading at these levels, in my personal opinion, okay? And as you look at it, guys, this is something monumental for a $2 trillion asset to be moving 4 or 5% in just a couple of minutes. I would say an hour. Within the last hour, we are up 1.5%. It'll be kind of interesting to see how this shakes out because it is a ceasefire. This is just the likes of 6 to 12 hours of currently where we're at. Kind of curious to see where we head from here, what we wake up to, especially after some of the overseas markets do get a chance to wake up. But that's kind of what we got going on. So if you guys are watching, make sure you all let me know where you're watching from. Hail in down below in the comments. Let's try to get this one going. And I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to share with you guys kind of my thoughts, what I'm looking at. Some of the ones that we did miss out. I know a lot of people started shorting the market. And unfortunately, this is kind of what I was fearful of, that we would get this changing of the gears and start reverting course back to a bullish conversation because nothing really has changed, okay? We saw this with a little bit with Russia, Ukraine, and as it stands today, guys, it was just basically a swift, probably a phone call, and that was it. And that's all it took to make the markets kind of just take off. And I'll share with you guys kind of what we're looking at within CoinMarketCap. And you can kind of see where we're at as the overall market, like I talked about, up 4.9%. So that is a big mover there as we now see $3.24 trillion for the overall market cap. So that's a good sight to see. Outside of Bitcoin, Ethereum still under 2,500. We talk XRP. This was a very significant opportunity, not financial advice, but we were talking about XRP below $2 and firmly on board with that conversation. Okay, that was one where we looked at XRP, and I've been buying anytime it dips below $2. That narrative hasn't changed. Okay, and I do think that's something pressing to discuss because now what's going to happen from here? All right, what's going to happen? There's a conversation to be had that this is all for nothing, and Iran historically has not really been pretty significant to their word. I guess you would say they've always kind of fallen back, reverting course a little bit. When they say they're going to do something, it's kind of just a verbal agreement. My fear in this all, and this is just pure speculative, is that this is just jockeying for position, right? From what I've been hearing, the reports, Iran's air defenses are very, very much weakened. They do not have any kind of defense set in place. They kind of started all this in a way, but with all their moves on Israel. But you know, they're not stupid. They knew this was coming. But I also think that the ceasefire is in part to, and it's kind of my fear, is that this is just kind of in part to waiting, giving them more time to kind of position themselves. And that's kind of where we're at. Unfortunately, over there, for the most part, outside of, you know, some of those nations in the Middle East, they don't really, quite frankly, care what it does to the crypto markets. But that's kind of where we're looking at it right now. We are reacting in a strong way. I'm going to sort this out by the top gainers, and you can see this here in the last 24 hours. And I should do the last hour, actually. We're seeing a lot of meme coins kind of hit their strides, okay? Notably, Ondo up 5.71%. That's a crypto we do talk about a lot here on the channel. They're doing exceedingly well. Also, we're seeing a big move from Jasmy, kind of interesting. And then outside of that, guys, H-bar seeing a nice 4.12%. Squeeze bouncing, the graph, we're looking at that. Aptos, those are some of the ones we do talk about. Algorand's moving, but in the last hour, it's been pretty much a green storyline, okay? But the 24 hours and kind of leading up till tomorrow, the fallout from this, that's what I'm going to be kind of geared up for. I want to see kind of if this is going to be sustainable or not. And that's kind of my stance on this, because like I said, Iran historically has not always been, you know, big on their word here when it comes to these ceasefires. And, you know, how long will this last? How long will peace last? Is there peace? And just really, you know, just lucky that I think that the casualties were minimalized and seemingly was just on that nuclear infrastructure. But yeah, guys, just enjoying it. Monday, we're starting a new week. Nothing really crazy going on outside of just watching this suppression, right? It's what we've been dealt with. I think that as the storyline continues to shift, you kind of have to find yourself wondering where crypto will be at. You know, it is the summer months. Historically, that's always been kind of low for what we see in crypto. Let's pull up the X page and we'll talk about kind of what we're seeing here. I do want to kind of highlight what I'm looking at a little bit. We'll get into some of the major headlines, but as we get going, I kind of want to put on some tunes. So we're going to kind of fire this one up here on low. Let me know in the comments if that is kind of obnoxiously loud, but I don't think it will be. I think we'll be good to go. Okay. But yeah, so we're looking at it. I am going to kind of share my screen. We'll talk about kind of what we're looking at. Let me present my X page. And you can kind of see what I'm looking at, okay? And this is my X page, guys. If you don't follow me or watching me on X, make sure you give me a follow. We have over 60 people in this live stream, so I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Just give me a follow, and I'll be sure to kind of interact with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it on my page. But let's look at kind of what this war is leading up to. Okay, so let's type it in. Iran. See, because we got it trending now, as always. Okay. And this was the actual post from Donald Trump. Okay, congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed upon that Israel and Iran, that will be a complete and total ceasefire 6 hours from now, when we have wound down the missions that are final, in their final progress. That's when in 12 hours, the war will be considered ended, okay? That's where you look at the 12-day war, and I'm sure the Trump and the MAGAs out there will be talking about it as it was kind of Donald Trump's stamp that he got this one done in 12 days, and there's going to be a lot of talk about this. He will use this, obviously, as a very swift, can't get reelected, but this would be one that definitely would be on his resume for getting involved and kind of ending the conflict. And, you know, it kind of obviously has its ties to the economy and how that's all conducted. Iran, very important to what China is looking to do. Obviously, Russia being on the other end of that is directly involved as well. And the oil supply definitely was seeing a little bit of a shift as the price per oil definitely took a hit with what was going on. Okay. But as we look at this ceasefire, we'll see what happens. I personally, guys, want to see, you know, this kind of headline right now. Iran has not received any ceasefire proposal. Okay, senior official says now noted. This is coming out of CNN, so please keep this in mind. The official said Iran would continue to fight until it achieves lasting peace. At this very moment, the enemy is committing aggression against Iran, and Iran is on the verge of intensifying its retaliatory strikes with no ear to listen to the lies of its enemies. Okay, that's something where very subjective. So we'll see kind of what we have going on. I can tell you right now that if that is true, very condemning, I think, from CNN to post a conflicting report. But we look in kind of what's going on. The posts just seconds ago, airstrikes are continuing. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one shakes out. And I just really don't think that we're going to know exactly what happens till tomorrow. But this is breaking news, okay, from Trump announcing the ceasefire between Iran and Israel. You can see here from all the major media outlets, and the crypto markets are responding, okay? I want to share with you guys kind of how that all is going to shape out. We'll see some of the fallout, and basically just give a quick search, okay? And then you can see kind of a lot of the people hoping for us to get a little moonshot here from this news. We'll see what happens. The market's substantially reacting as we look at Bitcoin, and I'll kind of get into kind of some of my topics and what I'm doing as we get this live stream rolling. But we got to get some comments. Get those thumbs up. For those of you watching on YouTube, appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button and like this video if you have not already done so. We only have 2 likes over on YouTube, so need to see more thumbs up. A lot of people watching over on X. Very important over there as well. All right. But outside of Bitcoin moving, the one thing that I kind of want to share with you guys is nothing has really changed, in my opinion. Okay. As it relates to crypto, I think this is bullish for meme coins. We do have, myself, I'm kind of happy for this one personally, because we do have a very exciting launch that I've been talking about. And, you do not want to launch a crypto project when there is the talk of war going on. Okay. It's just not going to bode well for the longer term. That's just kind of where we're at. I think that there's going to be a lot of things happening from here on out. And the market's they're reacting nice. We're seeing on the day a lot of big moves, but I don't think this is something significant where nothing has changed, right? Crypto was in a very good spot. Enter Israel, Iran. And the next thing you know, guys, we have some significant volatility. And even though we are in the green, it's still volatile for all things considered. And that's basically the end result, okay? You talk recession, you talk impeachment, you talk conflict. There's going to be ebbs and flows, and we will see the market kind of take its turn. But I think the biggest storyline I think that we can get into is the fact that crypto wants a run. That's just my personal opinion. I think that that's where we were before this all started. Bitcoin was pressing 110,000, 112,000 all-time high, and we did kind of just stop dead in our tracks due to all this going on. And when the price of oil goes up, digital assets, they go down. And that's kind of where you look into this as being a very big, kind of headwind. It was some suppression. There was a lot of things going on, a lot of cryptos. I mean, you can look at kind of the ones we talked about, right? I talked about Cardano a little bit today. We were down almost 50 cents on the day. This is where we've reached over 60 cents as we're trying to surge out of this 8.2% up into the green. So big move for them. But that's what I'm talking about. A lot of these cryptos were, severely, I'm talking 20% discounted from arguably levels that they were already discounted at. Okay. Meme coins, they're going to run a little bit more. I think that when we wake up tomorrow, it's going to be a very significant move personally. I think that we could see another kind of repeat day. I think that a lot of these cryptos can rebound back to those levels. And what I'm talking about is kind of what I'm going to share with you guys as we look at the trading view. And as it relates to Bitcoin, I'm talking about kind of where we were as we wick up right now to 105, 106. Back on the 23rd of May, Bitcoin was pressing 112. So these are daily candles. It doesn't look, too significant here. Let me get that off your screen. But I do think that there are some moving averages that are about to cross over right now, kind of lending the narrative to getting more bullish. I could see this definitely having a role where we see this kind of explode from here. I'm not going to say we're going to hit all-time highs again, but I definitely think that there is an avenue where we can see Bitcoin get back up to 110. I think that a lot of cryptos that were dealing with some suppression, they definitely will get a tailwind from all of this news. But like I said, guys, I want to see how this kind of plays into the narrative longer term. Okay. I don't want to go into ceasefire for 2 weeks, and then next thing you know, we're right back at it in the thick of things, okay? If you are watching, I appreciate you all. Make a comment, please. Give me something to talk about. I'm sick of talking to myself, but I want to keep this one going, but we need to have some interaction on that front. So if you are watching over there on YouTube, appreciate it. But we will keep this chart up, keep the music flowing, and if you guys have anything you want to mention or talk about, any questions, please feel free, let me know down below in the comments. Very conflicting that I saw. Can't believe CNN posted that was not confirmed, and now I am just reading that the senior Iranian official confirmed that Tehran has agreed to U.S. proposed ceasefire with Israel. So very interesting, kind of seeing that kind of trickle out. But I think we're gonna have to watch and see what we got tomorrow. That's going to be the biggest thing once we get the Asian markets waking up. I think it's going to be another green day. My personal opinion, obviously, I don't have that crystal ball. It's not financial advice, but I could definitely see a world where Bitcoin gets back over the 107, 108 level just in tomorrow alone. Looking at this chart that I have on your screen, I mean, you could just see for yourself. We had some very significant support, and unfortunately, guys, it's something where this was just purely some suppression from base what was going on with the conflict. Okay. But yeah, so I was hoping for more people to show up in this chat. For those of you watching on X, I do appreciate it. We have a very strong showing over there, and wish you guys were firing up the comments. Kind of hard to go on by myself, but I will keep this chart up as long as people want it. But for those of you that are tuning in on YouTube, it's going to be something we'll be covering this tomorrow. We'll have a lot of videos talking about kind of individually what crypto's doing. But it's the same song and dance, right? The macro right now is dominating crypto, I think, overall. So we have that going on. And unfortunately, we just need to let crypto be crypto, right? There was really no reason why we were having these this volatility. We have pro-regulation at its best point. We have probably the best regime for crypto at the helm of the United States government, and the big players, right? BlackRock. We have the ETFs talks. It just goes on and on and on. Reasons to be excited about cryptocurrency, and unfortunately, the things like this that do happen are very unfortunate, and you can't really do anything about it. But it's just kind of where we're at, and that's just kind of what's going on. I mean, if you could have dreamt the worst case situation to kind of take crypto off of its tracks, derail the markets, that's exactly what we're getting right now. So can't debate that whatsoever. But yeah, nobody wanted to show up today. For those of you that did tune in, appreciate you guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to end this one. Just wanted to kind of break the news, you guys, show you the Bitcoin chart, go live for a little bit. If there was some of the subscribers that did want to tune in, great. And we do have, yeah, drunk on couch. Yeah, that's what we need right now. More of that. Comment there. Appreciate it. We have a nice little positive reaction from the crypto stock market. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we were banking on, right? If you were following a lot of the top cryptos, the ones we talk about each and every single day, it was pretty evident that this was just going to be talking point, in my opinion, and we were going to get tabled discussions, and that's exactly what we got. Kind of swift, in my opinion, right? I wasn't really thinking it would come this quick, but I think everybody's kind of excited, not just for the basis of, you know, getting back to crypto moving, but just nobody wants to see World War III. And I think that's something I think that we can all agree on, despite the tension and everything. I think it's just kind of unfortunate that, you know, this had to happen. But unfortunately, you know, it's kind of been the song and dance that we've all been used to for decades now with the whole Middle East. But yeah, I mean, we're moving. It's nothing too crazy in terms of what we're seeing within the. I don't think you're ever going to see Bitcoin do 10% in one day, but we're getting pretty close to 5, and that's kind of all that matters as we are rebounding pretty nicely. Okay, we'll wait for this candle to turn green. Still showing momentum down there on my trading indicator, so we'll see kind of where that heads from here. But kind of caught me off guard, not gonna lie. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Just wanted to break the news to you all. Appreciate all that did tune in. If you aren't following me on X, make sure you do so. We are going to sign off. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and we'll talk to you guys all in the next video. Have a great rest of your night. Cheers.